What's up, guys? RonMan coming back at you, and today we're taking a look at Beethoven for Super Nintendo. Or is that Beethoven? Well, either way, if you like my content, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as well as that bell notification so you stay up to date with RonMan Gaming. Beethoven was developed by Riedel Software Productions and published by High-Tech Expressions for the Super Nintendo and released in December 1993. I'm actually confused as to what the title of this game actually is. On the game pack, it says Beethoven, the Ultimate Canine Caper, but on the title screen, it just says Beethoven's Second. There's no mention of the subtitle anywhere in the game. So which is it? I know Beethoven's Second is the name of the second movie, and I know this game is based off of that movie, but yeah, they fucked up. Anyway, Beethoven is a single-player action platformer where you take control of the titular dog, Beethoven, and your goal is to rescue all of your puppies. There are 4 worlds, each with 2 levels. Every level has you walking to the right while dealing with enemies and avoiding obstacles. Later in the game, there's a lot more platforming, and considering how bad the controls are, well, let's say it can be quite the challenge. During the first level of every world, your goal is to just rescue the puppy. The second level of every world has you escorting that puppy back to its mother. So yeah, every second stage is an escort mission. I can appreciate the attempt at trying to change up the gameplay. I guess my critique here is that they should have changed the gameplay to something good. Escort missions? Really? Nobody likes those. The puppy can walk by himself but can't jump. This means that when there are obstacles, you'll have to pick him up and carry him. Alright, so in case you couldn't tell, this is one of the worst Super Nintendo games ever. You have 2 attacks: barking and shaking off water. Barking just sucks. If you just press Y, you'll bark, but there's a slight delay. This is because you're meant to hold Y to charge the bark. By doing this, you'll shoot the bark further. You don't kill enemies either, you just scare them away, but thankfully, enemies don't respawn, unless of course you die. Some enemies take only 1 bark, while others take many. If you're doing an escort mission, you'll have to put the puppy down before attacking. This can be a real problem because enemies can appear so suddenly. Shaking off water is much better. There's no delay, and it immediately scares away all enemies on screen. The only problem is that you need to first get wet. Each stage has water sources like bird baths or sprinklers. You only get 1 shot when you're wet, so you'll have to find more water if you want to do it again. Throughout the levels, you can find a few different items, 3 to be exact. Dog bones replenish 1 paw of health, while chicken legs replenish all of your health. Meanwhile, steaks give you a 1-up. The level design is ass water. Level layouts and enemy placements are poorly planned. Look at this. At the beginning of this level, an apple just falls on you if you don't move fast enough. They even put a dog bone just behind you too, so it's like they knew that that was a cheap shot. Then why even put the apple right there? Speaking of apples, they're actually pretty deadly in this game. So check this out. There's an apple in this tree, and I'm standing on this fence. So I jump off the fence like how anyone would, and I managed to collide with an apple and take damage. Oh, come on, I couldn't even see it. Another annoyance is that there are no checkpoints at all. So if you die at any point in a level, you'll have to go back to the beginning of the stage. This game isn't even that hard, but the shit-ass controls certainly don't help. This game also doesn't have the courtesy to refill your health at the start of a new stage. Thanks. Some levels have platforms that suddenly fall from under you. What is that about? There's no indication that these platforms would fall. They don't look any different. They don't shake before they fall. They just simply fall. How would you know that on your first time through the stage? You wouldn't. How about this? I jump on this moving platform and, oh shit, there's a guy over there. I guess I'll just stay on this platform and bark at his ass, and, what's with the screen? Well, this is annoying. See, if they had just placed that enemy in a better spot, maybe not right in front of a moving platform, then this shifting camera wouldn't have made me lose even more respect for this, I'll be generous, game. I should also mention that Beethoven is the type of game which has platforms that you can fall through if you don't jump on them good enough. What is up with that? Were platforms like the most difficult thing to program? It seems like most bad platformers have this issue. Here's a clip from the first time I beat Beethoven a couple years ago while I was streaming on Twitch. Oh. Okay, so I've touched on the controls a bit, but yeah, they're not good. It's hard to describe, but there are issues with input delay and also with momentum. Like sometimes when you're trying to jump across some platforms, you'll just come to a halt. Like, what the fuck? But it doesn't always happen. If you've come to a halt, your next jump is fucked because you need to be moving. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but trust me, it's pretty shit. The music is also terrible. It seems like most levels just play Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. I'm not knocking Beethoven's music. In fact, I rather enjoy the music composed by Ludwig van Beethoven, but of course, like any shitty video game, they made it sound like fucking ball sacks. Last but certainly not least, the graphics. Just look at them. The animations suck. Look at the way the dog moves. Look at the enemies. Not to mention the lack of enemy variety. World 3 is just ugly with an overuse of blue. I can honestly say that the only thing I liked was the background in the final world, and even then, I don't ever need to see it again. Overall, Beethoven is your typical piece of shit movie tie-in video game handed over to a small and inexperienced studio, all to make nothing more than a quick buck. If a game is tied to a movie, it'll sell. It might not sell well, but it'll sell. If the development company is small and inexperienced, you can pay them less. I think that's why a lot of movie games are delegated to small development companies. Sadly, this is the kind of garbage we often get left with. The consumers did not get what they paid for. This game has no depth. It's 8 straightforward levels, and what you see is what you get. There are no secret levels, no difficulty settings, no advanced controls to master, no other playable characters, no 2-player mode, nothing. It really is nothing more than walk to the right and try not to die. It's a shallow experience that was thrown together to make a quick buck. Just for reference, this game is awful, but I would still rather play Beethoven than The Wizard of Oz. Let that sink in. No, I'll wait. I will wait right here while that sinks in. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Don't play this game, and I'll see you next time.